Hi, this is Donna, psychic medium and direct messenger for spirit. If this is your first episode, welcome. I invite you to listen to previous episodes where I link my guest with their loved one in the world of spirit. What started as one thing is morphing into so much more, not just for my guest, but for all of us. Thank you for listening.
Trish.
Okay, you can open your eyes now. State the first name of the loved one that you'd like to connect with today.
Amos.
I like Amos. I like him. He's a little tentative at first coming in, which might tell me, yeah, he wasn't so sure about this afterlife thing, or he didn't want to have anything to do with mediums. He's kind of creeping up on me, though, almost like he's trying to also, he just doesn't stop, trying to also maybe play a prank on me or sneak up on me and surprise me. Any of that making sense to Amos? Amos, was that his name?
Yes, Amos. He was yes, that sounds just like him.
All of those things that I get everything.
All of those things. Yes, all of those things.
Was he a little shorter or is he actually crouching?
He's a little shorter.
Okay. Because he's like, I'll stand up now. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't make a difference. He's funny, yes?
Yes.
I don't feel him as an older man, but I feel him as I don't know, did he not cross of old age? He wouldn't have been over 80.
Close, but no. No, he was under, I believe.
Did he look rather young for his age?
No, I wouldn't say so.
He's acting very young. So that could tell me that's what he likes. That's what he wants to come through as. He liked his younger self better than his older self. Do you know the answer to that?
I would say yes.
He's saying, did he go to college? He's saying, I liked my college days.
I don't know that answer to that one, actually.
And I said, most people did like their college days. I, however, did not, honey. I did not like my college days. He said, I loved my college days. Something about that time for him, he said, I really came into being, came into my own self, came into who I truly was. And I'm like, well, then you must have had a great rest of your life, like really coming forward and out to people that this is who I am, a very confident person. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Tends to be moving his hands a lot, his arms a lot. Was he a talker that, had to enunciate things and had to was very animated?
Honestly, I don't remember that part. I remember his hugs, but that part I don't remember if it was animated, right?
Yeah, this would be more animated.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten close enough yet to me. I feel he's very tentative still of me. In my head, he's a little bit further away still. And I'm like, you can come close anytime you want. Did he have challenges with his eyesight? Like, did he have to wear sunglasses? Was he light sensitive? Anything like that?
Yes, I believe so.
I feel like he talked a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he did like to talk. Yes.
Like my jaw's tired already. And I just started this session. But he said, Donna, I didn't move enough. And I'm like, does that mean exercise? And he says, yeah, I wasn't a active person. Do you know that, Trish?
Yes. Gardener, but not really active.
He wasn't active.
Yeah.
He's saying it again very tentatively. I said, I'm not going to judge you, hon. I like to say I'm fit, but I am not active anymore, but I am fit. That's my version of life. He said, I like that, Donna. I'm going to take that.
I do too.
Still pretty far away from me. I'm like, so what you got going on, Amos? I said, all right, let me tell her. I said, all right, please tell her. Please tell her to stop worrying about life in general. Life should not be this difficult. Do you understand that, Trish?
I do.
Please tell her that the little things in her life need to mean so much more than the big things. Do you understand that, Trish?
Yes,
Do you have children?
I do.
And when he said little things, I equated that with not only little things, but also little children. Do you understand?
Hmm.
He says they love you with every fiber of their being. Do you have two children?
I have 8 + 4 children.
Oh, there's two. He's showing me two. Something about two that love you with every fiber of their being. Are there two that are just yours, or two that are closer, or two that you think aren't very loving to you? What's going on here?
I have 2 younger. So we had 6, and then 8 years later, we got a surprise and had another. And then we decided it would be better to have 2 than 1, because one spoiled by parents and 6 older siblings was a little scary to me. So we have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old at this point. They're the 2 youngest.
So let's say those two, because I saw them as smaller. And when he said the little things, I saw little children. So let's talk about them. Would there be any reason why you think they don't love you as much as the others, or they aren't putting out whatever? Because his words were, they do love you with every fiber of their being.
No, I raised them differently, and I feel like we have a closer connection.
Definitely feeling the two. I'm definitely feeling younger. And I'll say his words one more time. They love you. They definitely love you with every fiber of their being. I don't know if you question that, or if down inside you, you question something about those two children, but he's reminding you.
Would it be the twins that I miscarried last year?
You knew they were twins?
I didn't do any medical intervention. We just did it all at home with a midwife, but she was pretty sure it was twins.
Sorry for that loss. Let's go with that. Because just to be clear with everyone listening, you mentioned that before we even came on, but you didn't say anything about twins.
Yes.
So Spirit made sure Donna was doing her due diligence here and said two, the two of them. So let's go with that, because obviously he has them with him. You understand?
Yeah.
They were small. He said love has no boundaries. Love exists wherever you are. Love can never be taken away from you. Oh, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And love can hug you from a distance. Oh, I liked all of those. Thank you, Amos. He said, now that we've agreed that's who they are, they were two girls. They are running him ragged on the other side. He says, I'd like to keep them at this age that they are. I see them, I heard you say a year ago, but I see them more along the lines of 2, 3 years old, because they're running and like just getting their feet. He said, I'd like to keep them at this age, but I got a feeling they want to grow so badly, grow up in the world of non-physical so badly. I'm trying to get their attention, but they're very busy. And maybe that's why he was so far away from me, because there really isn't any room right in front of me for those two little ones and him, and the way they're all running around. You got it?
Yes.
Did you get very ill when you were pregnant with these two?
No, actually not. I wasn't.
Something about, I'm feeling that now.
Stressed, maybe?
Is that what you were, or then, or are you saying that now?
Then I was quite stressed. I mean, after you have more than 2 kids, people are like, what's your problem? Why would you do that? Right? So at that point, I was 45 years old, and
Yeah.
in my mind, I don't care what people think, but my body takes on. I'm a bit of an empath, so my body takes on people's.
Yep.
And it was a little stressful thinking about that.
Got it. Not feeling that. Is there anyone in your life right now that is having these symptoms? Nauseousness, stomach ache, not to a point of vomiting, but stomach ache. Anybody, adults or children?
Could be my mom, I guess. My kids are all fine at the moment.
So you're saying your mom, you guessed. Does that mean you don't know, or you know and she's not really telling you?
She's older. She's doesn't have to have constant care, but she has to have a lot of care. She has been ill since we brought her home from the hospital, off and on.
And so you're not sure about those symptoms.
I'm not sure if she's still, I haven't seen her since Sunday, so I'm not.
Is your mom related to Amos?
No, but they were close. She's, well, related through marriage. She's his daughter-in-law.
I want to say it could be your mother, but let me try to get some more information because I'm not 100% sure. Does your mother have some sort of either dementia or challenged in a way of speaking or thinking?
I would say yes.
Again, I'm just getting confirmation over who's coming in. And Amos is saying, although I worry, I don't worry because it'll all be fine. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
He said, you have enough on your plate and everything will be fine. He keeps saying that everything will be fine. Do you understand?
I think so.
I said, I don't like the word fine, Amos. It's either going to be fine or it's really not going to be fine. Fine is just such a middle ground. He said, exactly. He says, I got to give her middle ground because that is what's going to be happening over the coming months. It's not going to be fine and it's not going to be fine. It's just going to be fine. You got it?
I believe so.
Middle ground, more middle ground. Keep yourself in that more middle ground state, he's saying. Because I don't want you pulling your hair out. I don't want you going over the edge. He says, I'm right here to hold you back. You can use me to hold you back. And I said, you got those two little ones running around. How are you going to do Trish too? And he says, I can do it all. I am a man of many talents.
That he is.
I'll go with that. I feel like he also had many ducks lined up in a row when he was here, many things going on. Like he was trying to put together many things, tie together this, tie together that, keep it all from falling apart. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
And his wife, which I'm assuming is your grandmother, she's not with him right now. Did they cross at different times in between, or she's still in the physical world?
So he had two wives.
Mm.
His first wife is non-physical, and his second wife is physical.
So we're going to go with the second wife. That's why they're not together. But the other one's not there either. He says, I like being alone now. Do you hear me, Donna? I enjoy my alone time. Was he never alone? Was he in the physical world?
For his naps in the afternoon out in the bunkhouse, yeah.
Every other time he was so much going on.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty specific. I enjoy my alone time, he said.
I'm with him. I enjoy my alone time too.
I hear ya. Did he also have hearing problems?
Yes.
Both ears, not just one.
Yes. Hearing aids for both.
He says, but not anymore. I hear everything. Now I hear too much, he says. I hear everybody's prayers. I hear everybody's. I said, but what do you mean? Like everybody or just people in her family? He's like, you can hear everything up here, Donna.
Wow.
You have to literally say, all right, I'm tuning that out right now. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Kind of like being empathic, but in the world of spirit.
Yeah.
He says, exactly. He says, exactly. He said, I have to tune into exactly who I want to hear. He said, but yes, you can hear everything up here. I'm like, wow, that's really loud. Kind of like that movie. Remember that movie? Was it the movie where Jim Carrey played God? And remember, he was a person here on the earth and he was God somehow. God gave him the duties and he was on earth. And every time he went to a computer, all the messages would come up of people asking him things, tons and tons of messages, and he could hear in his mind. I love that movie. He says, yeah, there's a lot, and you have to literally tune it out or shut it off or go someplace else. And I'm like, I don't see the purpose of that. But he says, oh, there's a purpose. It's just not my purpose anymore. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
We'll end that at that. I understand that too. Yes, I get it.
That's interesting.
He says, I started to say famous Amos, because aren't those cookies famous Amos? And
Yes.
he's like, I wanted to be famous. I wanted in my life to do something. And he's making his hands go like this, to do something that put me on the map. But it didn't happen. But I wanted to, Donna. I tried and I tried to put myself to give me my 5 minutes of fame. Any of that resonating with you, Trish?
Well, he's on my map, but maybe he'd given up on that before I came along.
I feel that every part of him, when he said that, I feel that every part of him really wanted to be known. Like he wanted to reach more people than he did. He just wanted to. And I'm like, well, you are now.
That's what, yeah.
Because clearly you're listening to other souls down here.
Right?
Because I've never heard that. In my 10 years of being a medium, I have never heard someone say that they hear everything. He said, okay, I'll look into that more. And I'm like, good, good.
Pick and choose.
Exactly. He's also telling me that he dreamed big when he was in the physical world, and that would be his reason for wanting more. He dreamed big. Do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I also hear he had a big appetite.
Yes.
He wasn't a big guy though, but he had a big appetite.
I have an interesting memory of him eating.
Meaning, yes, he ate a lot.
No, he would sit at the end of the table and his plate would be given to him and he would have a piece of bread in this hand or this hand and his fork, and he would always have his arm around his plate and he would eat, right? And it was, I don't know why that memory just sticks out for me, but I see it right now. I can see him sitting there eating. It's just always been one of my memories.
Hence his words to me, I like to eat. And the way he said it to me reminded me of, I don't want to share my food.
That stance is exactly it. No sharing. Back off.
Amos doesn't share food.
Yes.
He said, I'm so glad we don't have to do that here in the non-physical world. I said, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I'm finally away from the food problems in my life. Yay. He said, but you know, we smell it. I said, I do know you guys can smell food. Yeah.
But that's enough?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I'm good with that.
Anything you want to elaborate on, Trish, or any questions for Amos right now?
What does he call the twins?
That's a good question. He says this and that.
I'll take that.
Like thing one and thing two. They're this and that because they're like interchangeable, right? Sometimes they're this and sometimes they're that. Sometimes they're that and sometimes they're this.
I love that.
He said, but really, there are no names for anyone up here. There is only love. So I could call them love one and love two. But for your sake, if that brings humor to your life, you can say this and that. I feel they're going to come back. Not to you, but they're going to come back again. They're telling you, you appreciated us. In the short time we were with you, you appreciated us. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
And that's what they needed to feel. That's all they needed to feel in that life, in your physical body. And they said, thumbs up. You did it. You did it. And we thank you for that. We thank you for that. They had to say it twice because there were two of them.
They gave me a huge lesson. I'm so grateful.
As you were one for them too. It went both ways.
That's so awesome.
Two ways. I'll say again, they will come back. I don't know who they're going to come back to, but they said we have more things that we want to play with on the planet Earth.
Maybe grandchildren.
We don't know that, right? So I'm asking, will you be twins when you come back? And they're like, we haven't decided yet. That's something you have to decide when it gets closer. And we haven't decided that yet.
Right.
And they don't know where they'll come back, when they'll come back.
That's fair.
So I'm asking them, do you think you'll come to this planet? I'm going to push them in because I've never spoken that I can recall to someone who said they're coming back and are open to this conversation.
Wow.
They seem to be growing up as I talk to them. Like they're not 2 or 3 anymore. They're now like 5 or 6. Now they're like being more alert and okay, settling down a little bit, which I'm sure Amos is saying they won't be running around as much as they get older. Thank the good Lord.
I was just going to say, Grandpa's going to thank you.
So I'm asking them, will it be planet Earth that they come back? And they're like, one of them. And I said, one of the Earths? And they're like, yep, one of them. We'll decide. There are many choices to make. It's not just planet Earth. There are many choices to make up here. And I'm like, thank you for that confirmation.
Yeah.
Amos says, I got to go, Donna. And I'm like, why do you have to go? Where do you have to be?
Where do you have to go? Come on, Grandpa.
He says, I have appointments of things to do and people to talk to. And I'm like, people from here or people from there? No, people from here, Donna. We still communicate with other souls. We still interact. He said, and I told someone I would be there at a certain time. And you were supposed to be done with this reading by now. And I'm like, oh, you're funny. For everybody else listening right now, Trish was about 20 minutes late to our reading today.
I'm an on-time person, but I don't like time.
Amos just called you out, Trish.
He
Just called
totally
you
did.
out.
He totally did.
I did not see that one coming. You're right, Amos. Let's say goodbye now to Amos. Thank you so much. Thanks for bringing the girls through. Thanks for hanging out with the twins. Anything else you want to say, Trish, to your family there?
Thank you.
Thank you to the souls that have been so close and dear to us in this physical world. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for growing. Thank you for loving. I'd like to thank my guests today for allowing all of us to join in on their process, their journey. And I'd like to thank you for not only listening, but coming together in a oneness vibration. Thanks again.